Okay, now we're going to look at decimal number lines. Here's a number line. Each unit has been divided into tenths. We're going to label each tenth. The tenth tick marks on this number line, so we have 0 whole units, 1 whole unit, and 2 whole units. And so the tenths are not very spread out. So to make it a little easier to see, we're going to do every other number above and below because you can only write but so small. Some of you are in heaven because you love to write tiny anyway. But if you have bigger handwriting, I'm going to show you how to fill in this number line. 0 and 1/10, 0 and 2/10, 0 and 3/10, 0 and 4/10, 0 and 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, and then this would be 10/10 or 1 and 0/10, and then this is 11/10, 12/10, 13/10, 14/10, 15/10, 16/10, 17/10, 18/10, 19/10, 20/10, 21/10. So this is how I filled in the number line. This is how most of you will fill in the number line. I only have a few students who can neatly write small enough, neatly, and fill this in. So the majority of you will be filling it in, putting every other number above or below the number line. And then for this section, I want you to get your colored pencils, and you will need red, blue, green, and yellow. So go ahead. I'll let you get out your red, blue, green, and yellow. It does not matter what shade of blue or what shade of green or what shade. Just pull out 4 colored pencils, red, blue, green, and yellow. So I'm going to draw a line to locate each decimal number on the number line. And I'm going to use different colors just to make it less difficult to see what's what. So I'm going to grab my green first. Actually, I'll go with red first. I'm changing my mind. And I'm going to trace over how they circled 0.2 or 2/10 and mark to the 2/10 line. I'm going to look any other numbers that are less than 1. I have 5/10, 0 and 5/10. So that's 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10. Let's see. There are no more numbers less than 1 below, so I'm going to look above for numbers less than 1. 0 and 2/10. Alright. It doesn't look like there are any more numbers that are less than 1. And so I'm going to put down my red and pick up my blue. All numbers that are between 1 and 2, I'm going to do in blue. So I have 1 and 6/10. So here's 1, 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10. 1 and 6/10. No more numbers less than 2. Looking up here, there are no more numbers less than 2. So I'm going to put down my blue and pick up my green. Now I'm going to do any numbers that are between 2 and 3. So I have, starting up here, I have 2 1/10. This is 2, that's 2 1/10. No more numbers there. Oh. I'm going to trace over this 2 3/10. Okay, so I don't have any more numbers that are within the 2. So I'm going to move on to yellow. I'm going to grab my yellow. And any numbers that are between 3 and 4, I'm going to mark in yellow. Ow. So I have 3 units, which just goes there. Now I'm going to look above. I have 3 decimal point, which goes there. 3 8/10, 9/10, 8/10, 3 8/10. And then, wow, I have another one, okay. And I am done with yellow. So I've used all of my colors, red, blue, green, yellow. Now I'm going to go back to red. Any numbers that are between 4 and 5, I'll do in red. There are no numbers, so any numbers that are between 5 and 6, I will do in red. 5 9/10. And then any numbers that are above 6, I will do in blue. 6 1/10. And then 6 2/10. Well, I'll have to put there. It's not perfect. In hindsight, I should have put 6 1/10 here. But, you know, c'est la vie. And so I'm done. Now I'm going to put my red, blue, green, and yellow colored pencil back into my box. Put them back into my box. And so equal numbers share the same mark on a number line. So I'm going to say, okay, which numbers share the same mark? So 3 is the same thing as 3 decimal point, and it's the same thing as 3 0/10. 2/10 is the same as 0 2/10. So below is another piece of a number line, and I'm supposed to locate each decimal number. This time I will not need to use colored pencils, hence I've already had you put them away. And so you're just going to, it starts with 25 and goes all the way up to 31 5/10. And so you're just going to locate each spot and put them on the number line.